Let me ask you a question. Who boycotts for Black lives? Because if you remember like I remember, Colin Kaepernick, in protesting police brutality, took a fucking knee in the NFL and he was benched and blackballed. Meanwhile, black people, dusty nignogs out here, was still watching the fucking NFL. We don't even boycott for ourselves. But all of this shit that's been happening in Palestine finally hits the full fucking screen. And we stop going all kinds of fucking places. And black people that refuse to buy McDonald's food will still run up into a goddamn Apple store and buy all the Apple products, knowing full well that Apple is directly responsible for the atrocities that are happening and to our people, people that look like us in Congo and Sudan. Who takes a stand for Black lives in this country and globally? Who is it? And it doesn't matter what these agents of white supremacy out here tell you about voting for Donald Trump. I don't think that you should vote for Donald Trump at fucking all. But what I am not going to pretend is that voting for Donald Trump is any different than voting for Joe Biden, because all of these things that people tell you Donald Trump wants to do are the things that Joe Biden is doing. Joe Biden just signed a bill putting more Border Patrol and ICE agents in our community than any other fucking president ever has, including Donald Trump. He wants to boast about this fucking economy and how it's doing so much better. It's doing better for the rich that we should be eating. You can make $100,000 and live in California and still be houseless. You know why? Because we're still underpaid, we're still underemployed, and we're still underinsured. Cop City, that's Joe Biden. We are starving in this country, not because we don't have the funds, but because this president, just like every other fucking president, is sending our hard-earned tax dollars to a foreign fucking entity so they can get the relief that we desperately need. And it doesn't matter that every other fucking president has done it. What matters is these motherfuckers want us to vote for this president, and he is doing it too. When do we get some relief for our Black lives? When? And we can talk about children, our children being in the military, black people being in the military. Has it ever crossed your mind why black people sign up for the military? It's not because they fucking love this country. It is because our children are trying to find ways to navigate white supremacy. Our children are trying to find ways to go to school without being saddled in student loan debt. Trying to find a way to overcome redlining and how we've been shut out of buying homes. So they go for VA loans and shit like that. So our children are here trying to find ways to navigate around white supremacy only to be sent to another fucking country to fight to uphold white supremacy. That don't make no fucking sense. And whether Black lives signed up or not, they are still Black lives and they're still valuable, and we need to protect all of our Black lives. Who boycotts for us? We are being told that this Democratic Party is the party that we have to play in. Well, this Democratic Party is never going to do anything for us. Why would they buy the cow when they get the milk for free? So if we don't put our fucking feet down in this goddamn Democratic Party, we're going to keep getting a watered down version of their exploding white supremacy on the red fucking side. Fuck this, vote blue no matter who. How many times do you think we're going to have to no vote the Democratic fucking presidential candidate for them to get the fucking message that they cannot keep using and mistreating black voters? They need us. And we are out here dying with or without them. Vote down ballot. Pay attention to your local and your state elections. The closer these elections are to your home, the more likely you can get some protection for your Black life. Pay attention to your local elections. Pay attention to your state elections. Pay attention to who we are sending to Congress, because those are the people that are writing these fucking bills. And it doesn't matter who the president is. If a dirty bill hits their desk, it hits their fucking desk. But if we can keep these dirty bills from hitting the desk, then there's no bad bills that fuck over our lives even more for them to sign. Give a fuck about you. Because these other motherfuckers in this Democratic Party do not. It is time for us to move for Black lives. And that means no voting their white supremacist fucking candidate for Black lives. Pay attention to your pro-Black candidates down ballot and vote for them. And no vote these goddamn white supremacists altogether. They've never, ever intended to do us any good. And it doesn't matter what color the agent of white supremacy is. The message is all the same. And it's all anti-Black.